It was in the summer of 2021 when the unofficial Switch emulation for Batocera was released, much to the joy of many Batocerans. Somewhere along the line, my Switch tutorial for Batocera became broken when a new version of Batocera was released. It wasn't until I tried to install Switch emulation on my Steam Deck that I realized that I needed to acquire some new updated files. The good news is that Switch emulation Batocera is bigger and better than ever. Not only is Yuzu working really well, but so is Ryujinx, and selecting between them is a breeze. In addition, there's a new update feature for both Yuzu and Ryujinx so that you can quickly update to the latest version without any trouble or much effort. This new feature is so good that not even Windows makes it this easy. Are you intrigued? More importantly, are you ready for some Switch emulation Batocera? Well, let's do it. Greetings everyone, and welcome to Batocera Nation, the #1 fan site and channel for Batoceras. So glad you could join us today. First of all, I want to stress that this build of Switch emulation is not officially supported by the Batocera team. The reason for this is that Batocera team wants to support the game developers. And since Switch games are still selling, the fear was of rampant piracy in Batocera. The developers wanted to avoid this at all costs. Consequently, I want to emphasize that I own not one but two Switch consoles with plenty of games. In fact, I plan to buy my third Switch console since one of the two is no longer able to read the Switch game cards. What's more, I've owned every Nintendo console since the GameCube. Therefore, in this tutorial, I will not tell you where to download the games or where to acquire the keys that you will need for Switch emulation. Google is your friend for that. Finally, I'm only going to emulate and test the games I currently own. Now then, if you already have your backup games as well as your backup keys, then you're ready to go. If not, then you need to acquire those first. Alright, let's do this. So it turns out that Switch emulation Batocera would not be possible without these two developers. Okay, we've got this guy who's one of the main developers of Switch emulation. In fact, yesterday I reached out to him because I had a question about one of the emulators. He was able to answer my question. So a super thank you goes out to him. And we also have this French young man who contributed to Switch emulation as well. So thank you so much. In fact, if you want to check him out, he's got a website, the Mini Cake TV, and he also has a group page on Facebook. Again, check him out. He's absolutely wonderful. All right, the place we need to go to download the files that are necessary for Switch emulation for Batocera is archive.org. And then go ahead and type Switch Batocera V35. And you'll come up with this file. I want to emphasize that this file does not have any keys or any games whatsoever. So go ahead and download that because that's going to be absolutely essential. I also want to emphasize this. If you see these files on archive.org, do not download these files. These files worked on the old versions of Batocera. They do not work in Batocera version 34 or 35. So again, make sure you download these files. Otherwise, it will not work. Also want to point out that if you want to find out more about Switch emulation, you're new to all this, then I'm going to leave this link as well, okay, for you to read. And of course, there's also a guide there, how to back up your keys and your games on Yuzu website. So I'll also leave a link for that. And finally, this page right here will tell you all the games which are compatible with the Yuzu emulator. That's what I tend to use the most, okay? So I'll also leave a link for all these pages right here. All right, let's go ahead and go to our file. And this is the file, again, I downloaded from archive.org. Go ahead and unzip it. And I'm going to show you, again, that this will have no games whatsoever. Okay? Everything is empty. But here's where you store your games. All right, in terms of the keys, for Yuzu, you got to store it right here. BIOS, Switch, and store it right here. Okay? You put it right there. And then for the other emulator, go into System, Configs, Ryujinx, and System again, and put it right here. Okay, if you only plan to use Yuzu, you're going to skip this step altogether. All right, once you've copied your keys on those files, then you're ready to go. And from there, go ahead and copy this to a portable hard drive so we can then copy that into a Batocera system. In fact, let's go ahead and turn on a Batocera system. All right, so we're in Batocera, Let me just go ahead and show you that nothing is working here. This is running off the old files. You can see here, it's not going to work. Okay? That's true for all the games there. All right, let's go ahead and press F1, your keyboard. All right, so for those of you who already have Switch emulation on your computer, your system, you're going to have to delete some files and folders. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So go to Share and go to System and go to Switch. Go ahead and select that. Go to Edit and Remove. Right? So yes. And you're also going to have to go into Configs. Not this one right here. Configs. And go ahead and select this one, and this one, and Yuzu. And delete those as well. Again, if you don't do that, it's not going to work. All right. Now we're ready to copy everything. Go into my portable hard drive. Go into my Switch folder. Go ahead and select those 3 folders right there. Copy and put that into your share folder and paste it. You get that question, just go ahead and apply, overwrite, and you're good to go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all this. All right, so the system files have been copied, and now we need to copy the games. To do that, make sure you go into your games folder and look for Switch. Folder should be automatically created. From there, make sure that your game extensions are one of these right here. Okay. Otherwise, it will not work. So you have to convert your game to a different extension. Make sure you do that. Different format. Make sure you do that, okay? And once you do that, you're ready to go. And if you go to Applications here, you try to click on any of these right here, they're not going to work, okay? Just go ahead and load it up first from Emulation Station. Let's go ahead and press Start, Game Setting, and update everything just in case. All right. Go in there, and now let's try it again. And you can see there, it's working, and we're good. All right, it's working. Let's go ahead and get out of this. Go ahead, escape again, F1. All right, we got to do some housekeeping here. Okay, from here you can configure things right here. Go into Yuzu config, double click on it. Be patient as it loads up. All right, so you want to add a game directory, just go ahead and double click on the plus sign. All right, from there, go to computer, click on this right there, double click on that, go to user data, and then go to your games folder, and from there look for your Switch folder. And there it is. Select that, choose, and you're good, all right? If you also want to configure anything, go on configure, and you got everything here. System, CPU, graphics. A lot of this stuff you can select with the Batocera. And I'll show you that a little bit. All right. You also configure your controllers in case you need to. All right. Also, notice the version of this Yuzu. August 14, 2022. Okay, we're going to be able to update that really quickly and easily. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, go ahead and close it out. Here you also have early access, and that's something you have to download yourself directly. You have to update that manually. And to update that manually, go into Share, go into System, go into Switch, and right here. Make sure the file you download, the app image file you download from the website, is renamed to this file right here. Okay, so go ahead, you delete that one, and you put the early access file right there. Okay, these right here don't worry about because there's an easy way to do that. All right, let's go back to Applications. We also have this one right here. Click on that one. It takes a while for it to load up. All right, there it goes. Also, you can check the help, about. You can see there the version number 182. To get out of that, Alt F4, and you go into Options, and of course you go into Settings. You can change things there as well. All right. Gamepad control options, hotkeys, region, system region. This is important. Right now you can see there, default setting is French. So here's where you change it to any language you want, okay? I'm going to pick English. All right, and graphics. And unfortunately, there's no option for Vulkan. It's only OpenGL. Everything else is the same. Okay, so the main thing here is just game controls, hotkeys, and of course the language. Once you're done with everything, just go ahead and save it. Apply, save. And then from there you can close it out. All right, go into options, go into settings. Here's the game directories. Okay, I've got this restored on 2 different folders. I've got this on my second hard drive, and there's also, of course, the main hard drive. Go to Add, go to Home, click on this first one right here, and then go to User Data, and go into the Games folder, and switch. Right there. And add. Apply. Go to input. You can change your settings right here. Go to system. System language. You can change it right here. Also the region as well. Okay. Apply. Graphics. For graphics, I've noticed that it works better on Vulkan. So go ahead and select Vulkan. You also can change here some things as well. Scaling and all those other stuff, okay? And that's it. Just go ahead and apply and save. And there it is, populator, okay? File, exit. All right, go to File, close Windows. Let's go back in here. Go ahead and press the select button. You can change your settings from here. Advanced system options. Emulator, of course, I think the best one that works here is Yuzu, but you also have the ability to choose any of the other 3 as well. Okay. Video mode, depending upon your monitor or TV screen, choose that. Aspect ratio, I kind of like a 16:9. Graphics backend, Vulkan works better than OpenGL. Shader backend, you also can choose one of these if you want to. Okay, this is default, leave it there. Put this on. Video resolution, you can also here choose all the way up to 6x. Okay. For this computer system, I'll leave it on 1x. Also can change this too if you want to. Try this here. For multi-core CPU, it's automatically selected to enable. Okay, so auto. This is also I turned to on. And of course, you also have your system language. You can choose these right here. All right. System region, you also can choose right here, whatever you want. We got it Europe here. Auto. Switch dock mode. Make sure it's docked. That's why you have better performance. You also have the option of using your pad type, okay? All right. I got it set to auto. You also have the option for second play as well, okay? That's it. Now, suppose there's a game that works better with the other emulator. If you want to change that, go ahead and press the A or the B button, depending upon your gamepad. Go into Advanced Game Options, and from here, you can choose the other emulator, okay? Right there. Fortunately, there's not many options here. Those options you can choose on a standalone application. Okay? Just go ahead and test it out. You can see there it loads up quite well. Okay? Start and hotkey will exit the game. And this one, of course, set to default for Yuzu. I'll click on that one. You can tell the difference between both of them because the Yuzu has this little introduction. Okay, that's the little introduction that Yuzu tends to have, okay? So both emulators are working. And as I mentioned before, Yuzu gets the best performance. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of this. Now then, if you want to update both emulators to the latest build, there's now an easy way to do it. Before, you had to download it from the website. Now you no longer have to do that. Just go into your ports section. Alright, there it is, ports. Select that. And now you can see there you've got some additions here. Update these three right here, okay? So let's go ahead and just select it. And let it do its thing. It sure takes a few seconds. And it's done. Second one, same thing. Of course, you got to make sure you're connected to the internet. And the last one, Yuzu. And it's done. Okay, let's go check it out. Hit escape. All right. Before you can go into a standalone application, just go ahead and go back to the Switch emulation. All right, we'll go back in there. Just select anything. And it should automatically be running the newest update. I'm going to show you a little bit to confirm that. All right, just go ahead and get out. Hotkey and stop button. And hit escape, F1. Go into applications. And let's go to Yuzu config. And there it is. Go to help, about. You can see there it's been updated to 10/5/2022. Okay? Easy. Quite easy. File. Exit. And let's go into the other one. Double click on that one. Go to help, about. And you can see there it's been updated as well. Alright? Close that out. File. Exit. Alright, so this one right here is already its latest update, but I did forget to show you something. So let me go ahead and load it up. Takes a while, so you gotta be very patient. Alright. If you want to add your games right here, don't select this right here, because otherwise it'll crash. Go into options, go into settings, and right there. General, game directories, you can add, or go into home, go up one, right there, go to user data, and go into your games folder, go for Switch, and right there, select, apply, save, and there you go. Okay? You can choose how you want them to appear by selecting this or this right here. I kind of like this better. Alright? File, exit. We're good to go. Now then, the one that does not get updated, of course, is Yuzu Early Access. That's a file you get directly from the developers if you belong part of that program, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and let me go ahead and load up my Steam Deck. And I can show you some gameplay. Alright, so I've uploaded my other Batocera system. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm using right now. I'm using here my Steam Deck. Alright? Alright, let's go ahead and check them out. And let's start off with Bayonetta 2. Now here's a game where there's a PS3 version to the game, and unfortunately on the deck The PS3 version of the game does not play well at all, but it does play quite well on the Switch. Let's check it out.
Excellent work, Avalon.
Come in. The locals are hostile. The gate is sealed, and we're trapped. We need backup, and we need it right now.
Roger that. Just sit tight. I'm on my way.
Did you hear that, Sheva? Help's on the way. You grab it.
Roger.
As you can see, Switch Emulation on the Steam Deck is just wonderful. Furthermore, from my Steam Deck showcase video, you also saw how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey all run extremely well too. Again, if your GPU and CPU are superior than the ones found on the Steam Deck, your performance will be even better. Once again, I want to thank developers Autodevice and the young Frenchman from Mini Cake TV for the excellent work on Batocera Switch Emulation. Without them, this would not be possible. Well, that's a wrap. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like it. That would really help me out with YouTube algorithms. If this is your first time watching a video from Batocera Nation, then I highly encourage you to check our YouTube channel, as well as the website BatoCeraNation.com. That will give you a great overview of what Batocera is all about, and whether this will meet your emulating needs. Finally, I want you to know I've got a lot more videos coming up, so therefore please consider subscribing so you'll stay on top of the latest and greatest of Batocera. As a matter of fact, for my next 2 videos, I plan to work something on the Steam Deck, and I also plan to do an Azania tutorial as well. Again, these are the next 2 videos, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on Batocera Nation. Bye.